Alrighty, guys, what is up? Welcome back. Uh, Marketing Magic, our little YouTube weekly podcast here. Me and Greg. Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing so good, Ben. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm better than the last time, which is the last episode we got up, which was some dumpster fires from April.
Yeah.
So go check that one out if you haven't. We actually got some comments on that, which is awesome. Appreciate. I just literally just got that one up. Yesterday, so it's cool to see some feedback. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. And we're gonna jump into some more fun stuff this week. Some e-com, some basic bitch e-com. Um, just some fun stuff, some things that have been happening with my brand, some little wins. And we'll just chop it up with some of that stuff. So I just want to pull up some of those topics that I shared with you, and we'll kind of go through there. So I'll take the lead on this one. So
Let's do it.
the first one is how to make Amazon easy. And cheeky headline on purpose because Amazon can be really hard. And obviously, lots of people who are selling stuff online and on Amazon, have their different struggles, and it's how do you market and how do you do this and that. So some people are not going to like the solution to this query of how to make Amazon easy. But for those who are ready to learn, uh, I think this is kind of an unconventional or maybe just like a different approach to it. Because the reality is I built my brand. I didn't build my brand on Amazon. I built my brand uh, with my website and with, owning my customer journey with an email list and with a social account. And obviously there's overlap, but I'm very much, I built it outside of Amazon. So right off the bat, people are like, well, that's maybe different, or like that doesn't help me with Amazon. But the reality is I can just kind of share what worked for me is doing that for about a year. Uh, my brand's almost a year old. Uh, we built up some good awareness, not only good awareness, but a customer list that we could use to, help boost this Amazon launch. So I'm only a week in. I went live, I think actually last Thursday night, so about a week. And excuse me. Yesterday was a bigger day, but kind of right out of the gate, before I'd done anything, we were getting to about 10 sales a day, 10 units um, selling a day without mentioning anything, which was cool to see because I didn't know what was going to happen there. I didn't know if there was any buzz. I didn't know what things like search volume or whatever. But what's cool is uh, I believe, and you were mentioning this to me even a few months ago, that the overflow of my Facebook ads had created specific search, like people searching for my product. So that's really neat because you've created almost a little category where they're they're looking for you. They're not just looking for, whatever it is, skincare or supplements or whatever it is you're selling. They might be searching literally the name of your product or the name of your brand. So you've created that little pocket that when you show up there, boom, you can be there for those consumers. So is this like a starting from scratch play? Yes and no, because I think what's becoming clear to everybody is when you bring traffic to Amazon, Amazon likes that. Or when you create sort of new um, little markets on Amazon, that's the way to win, whether you're bringing that from TikTok, whether you're bringing that from Facebook, from anywhere else. So uh, the point is, and we've mentioned this before, like build something off Amazon, build connection, build brand awareness, um, create relationships, create relationships with customers that you can bring to Amazon. And like it's gonna be like rolling downhill as opposed to like pushing that ball up the hill. So I'm just experiencing some of this now. I'm sure we'll have our own trials, and even already, I was under the impression I should race to 10 reviews as fast as possible. And then so I sent to a very small segment of my email list, just letting people know we're there. I told a couple friends, and right away my item became restricted because it was getting too many reviews. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's a good problem to have, I guess. From what I'm starting to learn now, the ratio of sales to reviews is something they're very careful with. So if it starts to seem like you have not made enough sales to merit a certain amount of reviews, they'll kind of check you. So that's okay. Uh, but it's interesting to see because 10 sales a day is still very small, but the cool thing about Amazon is I'm just starting to see the power of the snowball, where it's like, okay, this is just with a bit of brand awareness. This is not even really pushing this. This is you know, very early. So that's what I kind of wanted to just throw out there. And it's cool because we've like talked about this, you've experienced some of this, and then now it's kind of happening for me. And it's like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. So I'm gonna stand up behind the pulpit here for a minute because this is one of the things that I'm gonna go off on. So I want to reiterate. What day did you launch on Amazon?
Uh I'm 99% sure it was last Thursday night, so April 27th
Okay,
or something.
so you're on about a week
Yeah.
and you're on a consistent 10 sales a day
Yeah.
and you haven't done anything.
So that just yesterday I sent the email and yesterday went to 24 sales or whatever.
Right.
So yeah,
So,
yeah,
um, but you didn't send any traffic, you did not turn on PPC, you didn't give away anything. You simply created a listing for the product that you already sell. And within 1 week, you were at 10 sales a day, right?
yeah.
That's okay.
I'll interrupt because I'm still figuring out how this works. The PPC was on, but it was like when we looked at the spend, it was like a dollar or something. Like it was like a
Okay. So
15 ROAS. So it was like not, it was not driving the results.
yeah, basically you turned it on, but it really hadn't been running. There were not a ton of
Yeah,
impressions.
yeah.
Okay, so that would not explain 10 sales a day because I know people who have launched months ago and are grinding to get to 10 sales a day, right? And so the question is, how did Ben do this in a week? And you basically shared it. There are people, because of what you've already created off Amazon, there are people going onto Amazon, typing in your brand name. There are people going onto Amazon, typing in your product name. Those, your brand name and your product name are search terms that have monthly search volume,
Mhm.
right? And that existed before you launched on Amazon because of what you've done off Amazon. So you can basically slide in and you're gonna send a few emails to your list. You're gonna get this kick started, and you're probably gonna turn on PPC. But what's interesting is that we before we started recording, you mentioned to me you had to turn off your Facebook ads because you've got to fix some operational things before you turn it back on because you have so much traffic, so much business coming in, right?
Mhm.
So what you'll notice when you turn those things back on is that your when you turn your Facebook ads back on, pointing to your Shopify site, your Amazon sales will also increase and your PPC costs will go down.
Mhm.
Because what happens whenever you run ads outside of Amazon, whether we're talking about Facebook meta ads or TikTok Shop, or whether you're using YouTube ads or Google search ads, when people are become aware of a product, a lot of people are conditioned to go to Amazon and search there for the product. Like they see the ad somewhere else, but they don't stay inside of that ad platform to make a purchase or make a decision. They go to Amazon immediately. So anytime you're creating awareness anywhere, that causes a spillover effect onto Amazon. But what you've done is when people see your thing, they don't go on Amazon and type in skincare. They type in your brand name.
Mhm.
And this is what I think a lot of people are missing. The pure Amazon people make decisions about what to sell based on keyword search volume. You know, skincare, something, something, something. They're like, oh, cool, I'll create a product that matches that term. And then they jump into the same river of traffic that all these other piranhas are fighting over, right? Actually, let me switch the analogy. They jump into this herd of sheep all trying to graze the same pasture.
Mhm.
But when you have organic search volume for your own brand name and product name, um, you're more like a wolf. You're not playing the same game at all. You're not fighting over the search term scraps that everybody else is doing, right? So what I predict is that you're going to be able to get the Amazon channel up to a consistent mid five figures within a couple months without doing anything because people are already looking for you there. And when they find you there, they're going to come back again and again. And if you decide to amp that up a little bit, be aggressive on the PPC, and then with the spillover effect from ads down the road, and if you couple in some email marketing, you can have two parallel $1 million channels if you wanted to. And I've seen this before. I've got some other folks I'm working with where this is exactly what's going on. They built a brand off Amazon, and then as soon as they get on Amazon with zero effort, they're close to pacing six-figure months because the search volume is already there. So I just want to really quickly, like, I hope everybody's getting this.
Yep.
You don't have to fight for everybody else for the same search terms. When it's your brand name, go ahead and get brand registry or get a trademark for those names. You can kick off everyone else bidding on or trying to rank for your brand. You
Yep.
get to own all of that search volume.
Yep. I loved how you put that. And once again, it's cool because it's a live case study, but we've kind of both seen it here and there. And what I think is like very doable and where you just get to see all the upsides of Amazon and very littles of the downsides is I'd say within a year, maybe less. I think it can if you build a real brand, I think it can just double your business in less than a year. I think it just like like you literally get to almost like clone the numbers you're doing into Amazon because that's what it's really good at. It's even better than that though, because you get to so already, we shipped in our product as FBA. Um, Amazon's fulfilling this. They're doing the customer service. This is like, aside from sorting out your production, whether you're making your product or placing that inventory order, like you're not doubling your labor. You're not doubling your headaches. Like you're just kind of doubling your sales. Like it's
Exactly.
I'm kind of like still like realizing how much leverage that is, but that's crazy. Also, I'll add this in is I'll have to see where margins stabilize in terms of, when we are spending more on PPC ads and things like that. But I came braced and kind of as a bit of an Amazon hater over the past like little bit to kind of like, yeah, you'll end up with, a dollar or nothing almost on a sale. And so when these first sales roll in and they're like 60% profit, I was like, what the heck? I was like, I thought they took everything. And that's when, yes, ad costs are down and things like that. And maybe it's just some organic sales. So, will that cost come up? Yes. But it all comes back to you having that asset that creates your own little market and then being able to clone that into Amazon.
Yeah.
The guy that I am working with an Amazon like an agency because I didn't want to learn Amazon and there's lots of little things where I knew this would be a worthwhile investment. What I want to stress there is they did not get these results and they told me that. They said, wow, we usually don't see this. Often people are spending, I forget the terminology, but it's 15 to 90% of your budget or of like your, I think, price point
Mhm.
goes towards getting that sale often in the first 6 months.
Yep.
So you might be red. You might be red just to try to get to that break into that, river that we're talking about where everyone's going. So, they're not taking credit for that, but they were able to contrast like this looks really good early on. So I think that's maybe the big takeaway is like, yes, you can go straight to Amazon. There's nothing wrong with that. And, but if you can take some of these foundational things, if you can build something that's standalone that has connection, has a bit of a customer list, Amazon becomes your friend.
Yeah. It gets even better because your product is a consumable. You will qualify for subscribe and save shortly. So we'll have to talk about this
Yep.
offline, down the road when like a little bit later, when subscribe and save is on and you've got some traction and the reviews are stacking up, you can run an off Amazon ad campaign to basically like an offer landing page and then send them to Amazon specifically for subscribe and save, like to get them on that thing. And Amazon's subscribe and save is basically the stickiest e-commerce subscription program in the world, right? So if you you can even acquire a customer at a loss on the front end and get them to stick on the back end, and then every single sale on the back end is profitable recurring revenue, right? But where you're positioned, you can probably make the front end sale profitable as well. So we're talking about a lifetime value of an Amazon customer of hundreds of dollars at least. So, you start every month with a couple hundred sales like already in the bag, right? It changes the whole game of you don't start every month at zero. You're like, man, I got to get another, a couple thousand sales to cover the bills and pay the
Mhm.
team and all this, right? So a lot of people are going for that subscription kind of thing on the back end, with their own website, and it's really hard, right, to get people to convert to a subscription right now. But Amazon Subscribe and Save is still they're still rolling, right? So it's just another tool that you can kind of go and exploit with basically like no downside. And um yeah, it's just it the when you get to kind of play your own game on that platform and not play the game everybody else is playing, like I said, it's unfair. It's an unfair advantage, and very, very few people are doing this the right way, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I mean, yeah, we'll get into this again because like the I think you maybe mentioned it. I don't think we put that episode up yet, but like this hybrid kind of ads to like buy with Prime buttons, like you get to then, yeah, you get to then even like optimize. Like there's just straight up if you're running ads, like you said, there's overflow to Amazon, but it's like what happens? Yeah, if you can leverage some of your marketing efforts to supercharge your Amazon listings to get the subscriptions going, uh, it gets it gets exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
So it comes back to the fundamentals, guys. So if you're not listening to every single episode, then you're gonna be like, oh, what do I do? But it's like I think we revisit it like every second episode. It's just some of these like, and this is the stuff I love about like creating emotional connection with customers, you know, the fundamentals of copywriting, of marketing, but also just of creating cool brands, creating fun things that in some way people want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And this is a good segue actually into one of the other topics, which is two friends who are launching brands. Like one just launched, another one he's launching like in the next couple of weeks here, and all these same conversations, grinding, getting a few Instagram followers, trying to get some feedback, trying to build a small email list, trying to get the first sale, and trying to find that resonance. What is it? Can I build this into the product enough? Is it, how good does the product have to be? All these questions that come up, and it's been fun having those conversations because I love that stuff. And one of these guys, they we've been chatting for a little bit now, but they launched, I think like maybe a week ago or less, and they got their first sale, which is always exciting, right? That the first sale is huge. And what's cool though is they got it with a Facebook ad, and they're running Facebook ads. So our Facebook ad episode has not come out yet. It'll probably be the next one. But Greg and I talked about some of this uh, hype around, the death of Facebook ads and Shopify kind of talk. It doesn't work anymore. And a lot of people are struggling with it. But what was cool is that, yeah, this young guy, my friend, and he has a business partner, they're both young. They're just dude, he's in Canva making ads. He showed me the ad that got the conversion. And it's a mushroom brand. So it's kind of, it's a growing market. There's interest there, but there's already, there's competitors. It's not like it's some totally new thing. But yeah, messing around with some fun creatives and testing some things out, and they got their first sale. So I thought it'd be fun to just share that because I know a lot of people listening are people in the trenches. Maybe they have launched it, maybe they haven't, maybe they're getting their first few sales. They're trying to put these pieces together. But the point is, you know, it stuff still works. Like there's people at different stages of this journey making it happen. I still had not launched a year ago. We're coming up on the anniversary this month, the first of the 1 year. There's people on Twitter I see launching and building brands and still doing things. So what am I saying? I don't know. Hopefully that if you're struggling or if you're thinking about starting a brand or if you're somewhere in this, that yeah, it's worthwhile if you dig into these fundamentals.
For sure. Yeah, it's still wide open opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So I think the key here is a lot of people are so like, I don't know, a lot of people focus on the wrong things, right? They see somebody succeed and they're like, wow, I want to do that too. And so they try to like copy everything.
This is good.
And like the, the intent there is good, right? Hey, we want to model success. But what they miss is that part of that element of success was the uniqueness of the person who did it the first time, right? So I think it's fine to come in and look at somebody's playbook, right? But then you have to have something unique to apply the playbook to. Does that make sense? Like when you came into the market a year ago, you had a fairly unique product with a fairly unique spin. And this is funny, like the product had been done.
Mhm.
The spin had been done in different markets. You brought together the product and the spin that nobody had done yet.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then you come in and you run a playbook that you had seen other people succeed with. And it was basically, Facebook ads with good messaging and then email follow-up. You ran the playbook and then you got to where you are now. And so now I know there's people looking at that brand trying to copy both the product and the messaging and the playbook, and they're going to struggle
Mhm.
because I mean, you've already done it, right? You're the market leader in that space using those particular pieces, and they come in and are like immediately it's a me too copycat, right?
Yep.
They
Which
can't,
which has happened like
yeah,
pretty much to the T and and failed. And this is one reason, not to cut you off, but like I haven't specifically shared as many details because uh that lends itself to people just genuinely being excited, but then copying too much, which
too much,
honestly, I mean, I don't want, but at the same time, it's not how they're going to win either by
right?
just emulating. So you're articulating that well. So yeah,
Totally.
carry
And
on.
just as an example, something that I have not seen yet is somebody taking a mushroom brand, you just mentioned that, and then using the type of messaging that you use,
Sure.
right? And then running a playbook, whatever that might be. Maybe it's Facebook ads, maybe it's TikTok shop, maybe it's social media organic to Amazon, whatever. Like there's different playbooks and they all work. But there's still so much opportunity to take, like you can take, hey, we know this product class works, right? And then over here, hey, we know this messaging works, but nobody's combined these two things yet. It's like you just take those two things that have been proven to work, put them together, and then run it using a playbook that's been proven to work, and boom, you are unique.
Mhm.
But you also have the confidence of running all these things that are already validated, right?
Mhm.
I think this is the thing people are missing. Like the creativity can simply be in matching up the right product to the right market with the right
Yeah.
messaging.
Yep.
And so many people fall on their face because they don't understand what that means, like how to actually do that. And I don't know, man, it's hard for me to explain
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
other than just give examples and then people just copy the damn examples. instead
Yeah,
of learning the lesson. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, and it is difficult. Like I want to empathize because I've felt that before. I was like, it's all been done, or literally the brand I want to have has already been created. And so I resonate with that feeling. And this is, one of my good friends yesterday chatting with him, and he's experiencing this a little bit. He's saying, dude, sometimes I see a brand I like, and then all I can see is how to copy them, and I don't want to. Like I want to be unique, but it's tough when you're still kind of developing what you're going to do to not just latch on to one thing and then it's like
Nice.
suddenly it's like Gray Rifle Coffee. It's like that's kind of another company. So it is difficult, but I think what one of the solutions there is realizing it's okay to take pieces. Like it's okay, like you said. But a couple things. You can take the pieces, you can imitate. But to have longevity, because I think this is another thing to look at. It's one thing to launch. What if you do just straight up copy and you're like, oh, it's working. I'm getting the sales. And it's like, okay, first of all, that might be in the wake of the person you're copying. So it's like you're just stealing a little piece of their pie. So you can never really grow that. You can never win that. Um, the other thing is you don't know what because it's not your idea, you don't know how to grow it or run it or drive that car. You don't know how to do that. And that's going to bite you when it comes down to your messaging, your email list, your new ads. Cause you're always looking over your shoulder or you're looking ahead to be like, what did they do? What did they do? You can't drive the boat, which comes back to, I think, like some of these fundamentals where it's like this one guy on Twitter said it where it's like you need to create from like your place of emotion and connection and and so you can be the driver of your marketing, so you can be the driver of the brand, and you can kind of it's like the difference between being fluent in something and like just like repeating back what someone's saying. It's like you can't lead the conversation if you're not actually fluent, if you always need to repeat back what the person's saying. So hopefully that makes sense, but it is difficult in those early stages to differentiate and to find your voice. But I love what you said about mix and matching there. So I think bring some of your own cares, emotions to the brand, but then mix and match some pieces. And I'm going to give an example and someone can go start this brand because I've had this kind of idea before. And it's like, I can't do it. But like beef jerky, right? It's a great, everyone wants to start a jerky brand. Like, why not? It's like, whatever. That's a fun product. People like it. It's clearly been done. We've seen even some of these smaller brands get really big. Like there's carnivore snacks and carnivore crisps were two that
Mhm.
they're probably like both eight-figure brands now.
Mhm.
Um, and so like one with that, I was like, okay, beef jerky, that's clearly like works as a product, but like, what's the spin? What's the audience? And someone might be like, oh, like the carnivore thing's already been done, but like I like carnivore, I like that stuff. And so I was like, what about like Gotta Beef? And it's basically like you're the edgy jerky brand that's like Gotta Beef with like some of maybe this progressive messaging or this, environment, like, this anti-meat agenda, like that could literally be your thing where it's like, that's kind of fun. There's a bit of a play on words there, like something like that, where you literally know other brands have succeeded in this market. Um, and then you're like, they are implicitly pro meat, but they're not kind of like, you know, the brand with a beef. And it's like, that's just fun. There's lots of meat on the bone there. So that's one that's like I've thought of a couple different times. And so it's like I'll throw that one out there. But and then you're like, oh damn, why didn't I think of that one maybe? But it's like when you start to think in these ways of these markets and these emotions and these different pieces, like you can really come up with these. Like, and this wasn't a setup plug, but I did try to create this sort of in a doc. With I think I have a video. It's like it's a free little course where it's like mixing and matching audiences and products and interests to try to just like have fun with this. So like one of the
Nice.
ones in there is like, anyways, people can check it out. But there's some more examples of this kind of thing where it's like you mix and match, and then I think naming is really important. I think there's a real power in naming, which I don't think gets stressed enough. Um, and anyways, people can check that out if they want. But
That's awesome.
yeah.
You just reminded me of an example from my own life this week. So you've probably, I think we follow some of the same people on social media. You've probably seen in the last year the occasional carnivore influencer talking about how ice cream can be a superfood, right? And so, if you use the right kind of milk and sweeten it with honey and a little bit of salt, this and that. Like I've seen kind of these recipes and people are putting in their supplement or whatever. And somebody launched this ice cream brand. I don't know if you've seen this.
I don't think so.
So there's a new ice cream brand. First of all, launching a frozen product that
Damn.
requires grocery shelf space, really ballsy. That's hard. That's really hard. So there's this company called Ice Cream for Bears. That's the name of the brand, which is weird but catchy. And it's made of organic milk
Mm.
and cream, sweetened with honey, and there's a little pinch of salt, and they've got some different
Dude,
flavors in there.
I love the branding.
It's awesome. It really is. Like it's very much in line with that whole market. And I just saw them the other day on social media, and apparently they are in Sprouts nationwide in the US. So I don't know
Damn.
how they lined that up. And I've got a Sprouts a mile from my house. And so it's been in the back of my mind, hey, I got to check this out sometime. And then
Yeah.
yesterday, I see this video of Paul Saladino walking into a Sprouts, like pulling out this ice cream. He's like, this ice cream is bullshit. He's like looking at the ingredients, and then he grabs ice cream for bears. He's like, whoa, this one's actually, he's like, this is not an endorsement, but this is really good stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude, I hopped in the car.
I was gonna say, have you gone yet?
Yeah, I bought two of them. And dude, they're like half a pint
Mhm.
for $8.
Yep.
It's like between 2 and 4 times more expensive than all the conventional ice cream, right?
Yep.
Probably because of ingredient quality and this and that.
100%. Yeah.
Uh, and it's delicious. It's delicious. So I'm like, in my head, now I believe that this ice cream is health food, right? So the other day I have like a half pound of ground beef and a bowl of ice cream for bears. Feeling
Amazing.
great about it. Feeling great. And my wife looks, she's like, what are you doing? She's like, we have an ice cream maker. Like you could literally make that. But I just want to support ice cream for bears now.
Yeah, me too.
So again, like, did like who believed that there was a gap in the market for ice cream that was 4 times more expensive than everything else,
And that was for
sweetened with
bears.
honey for bears? And these guys are like, they came out of nowhere, in my mind at least, and they are in like thousands of stores nationwide, getting free publicity from Paul Saladino
Mhm.
because they knew their people, and then they found a product class that was like this group of people was underserved with that product class. They created the right thing, and they nailed it.
Mhm.
So I don't know, so much opportunity.
Wow. That is, I love that. I love that example because there's another just great one of as soon as it exists, you're like, fuck yeah, of course. Of course we needed that. And even when you said the name, I was like, oh, I don't know how that works. And then as soon as I saw the branding, oh yeah, Bears Honey, like it's fun.
Right.
Um, and so it's like, yeah, that like should exist. I think that's so cool. Dude, on the ice cream topic, this is a little less related, but I'm staring at the box here and you're talking about it. Like I just got a Ninja Creamy.
Yes.
They're awesome. They're friggin' amazing. I'm making these protein ice creams, which are maybe a little bit less on the totally like pure side in terms of like I don't have the raw milk and I'm using some of these protein powders. But dude, you literally make this like tub of like perfect ice cream and it's like 50 grams of protein and like no sugar. It's like
Yeah.
it's changing my life. So but the example's not perfect because Ninja's this massive brand. But dude, who thought we needed a new ice cream maker? That's kind of been the gimmick of the last like 30 years where it's like you can kind of get when they don't like work that well. Dude, they couldn't keep these friggin' things in stock. Like
Yeah.
they've probably sold $1 billion or more worth of them. And it's
Right.
like, yeah, that's a little more complicated. That's a little more, that's not an easy one to jump into. But that literally, like, a couple of my brothers were being like, yeah, who thought we needed to like disrupt the ice cream maker market? Like that was kind of a lame
Right.
category. So there's
which
another
which is
one.
crazy. That actually opens up all kinds of new opportunities. You can have people creating blogs of
100%.
recipes for the ninja, right? That's probably a growing thing. I'm not into blogging,
Dude,
but
you could
that's
have the
probably
natural mix that you buy for your Ninja
exactly.
Cookie. Yeah.
And then you sell the mixes.
Yeah.
So like that in and of like that new product is creating an entire new market, just like the
Dude,
Keurig coffee
yeah.
things did, you know?
Yeah. I'm even literally thinking now, I'm like, oh, they're plastic tubs you buy. Dude, make a stainless steel one that fits into the like, boom.
Oh yeah. Oh
There,
yeah.
there's another one.
There's another
Um,
one. Replace like find any product you use every day that is in a plastic container.
yep.
Replace that container with glass, metal, or
Yep.
paper, and that is a whole new. You can build an entire brand off of that.
You can. It's a solid product. It's a solid solution. Add in the ingredient of some messaging
Yep.
and boom. Well, dude, I think I've literally got stuff to think about now. So I think I had like one more topic maybe, but I think it was literally that everyone in my family's like slowly, like some of them already have businesses, but like this whole branding things, there's a bit of a branding fever happening, I think. So
Nice.
if you're listening to this and you've got branding fever, then start something, check out the free resources, check out the other episodes. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe as well. And I dropped the ball on some uploads, but we're back on the wagon with uploading. And thanks for checking it out.
Yeah, you guys go get Ben's download that matches up product and market messaging. And we literally just dropped 5 ideas that are all multi-million dollar brand ideas. So we will see you back here in 12 months
Yeah.
and you're going to have $1 million business and we'll have you on as a guest.
Yeah.
There's no
100%.
excuse. No excuse.
100%. And you know what else we might do? I'm just throwing this out now is like, well, on the one hand, I can just give updates where it's like, okay, this one dude made his first sale, and then my other friend hasn't launched yet, but it's happening soon. And share those updates too. Like just, oh, maybe they got the 5 sales a day. Like this is happening. People are doing it. You should be doing it. And who knows? Maybe we'll even get some of those people on here. So yeah, love it. All right, guys. Peace.